It's Earth Day today, and up next we are peeling back the layers of the fast fashion world. It's a realm where the glitter of low-cost trends hides some really uncomfortable truths about human exploitation and environmental harm. We got to talk about it. So joining us to unpack the real price of staying on trend at such a rapid pace and to guide us towards more conscious shopping habits is Candice Batista.
Hi.
She's into it. She's done the research for us.
Yes.
Why do we need to buy sustainable clothing, Candice?
Well, fast fashion has a major impact on the planet and the people that are making our clothes. I mean, if you ever try to darn a sock, you know how hard it is to sew something. I can't do it. My husband does it. So if you've sewn something, you know how difficult it is. So we got to keep those people in mind. And then there's the environmental cost. An average pair of jeans takes 7,000 liters of water to make one pair of jeans.
Whoa.
One pair, 2,500 liters for one white cotton t-shirt.
My goodness.
So the impact is massive. So if we look at some of the more alarming statistics, 87% of all of the clothes that we wear ends up in landfill. And that's a real problem because 67% of that is made from plastic. So when you think of plastic clothing, what is that? Polyester, nylon, spandex. All of these are synthetic fabrics that when they end up in landfill, as they break down, they off-gas methane and CO2. And that's a real issue because we know that both of those are massive global greenhouse gas emitters, and they are basically what is causing part of what is causing climate change. The other major thing is when you look, a lot of our clothes shed microfibers. So microfibers when we wear them, plus when we wash them, these little bits of plastic that break off as we wear and wash our clothes. And this is a major issue. It's actually the largest category of microfibers right now is coming from our clothing. Okay. We also buy 60% more clothing than we did 20 years ago, and we only wear it for very short periods of time. So we need to make big changes when it comes to our fashion.
Back in the day, we had one coat.
One coat.
You know what I mean? Now we have coat wardrobe.
Or one blazer.
And then the hauls you see on social media. Do not do the hauls. Don't buy 16 pieces and then return 15 of them.
It's a big issue, the hauls. Major.
Help us out with making better choices when we shop. What can we do?
So I always say, okay, there's 3 things you want to keep in mind, and I highlight this in my book, Sustained, which we've talked about, is number 1, who's making it? What is it made from, and where is it coming from? Okay. So fast fashion, we have now these ultra fast fashion brands we'll talk about in just a minute, but it's really getting used to reading the label. We don't read the label on our clothing. We read it on our food. We read it on our skincare. But we see a cute dress, a cute blazer, and we just buy it, not thinking about what the item is actually made from. So I want you to look at natural fabrics versus synthetic fabrics. So I want you to stick to things like cotton, linen, silk, wool, and hemp, and avoid polyester, nylon, acrylic, spandex, those kinds of things. Now, that could be very difficult when you're out shopping, so I want to show you a few labels. But with sustainable fashion, there's 2 labels that I really love. One of them is GOTS, which is the Global Organic Textile Standard. This, when you see this on clothing, what this certifies is, 1, the amount of organic content in the item, and also looks at ethical production processes, so really important. The second one is another one, which is also really great on fabrics, is Oeko-Tex. Oeko-Tex, this is a standard which certifies leather and textiles for safety and sustainability practices. And when we talk about safety, a lot of polyesters and all these kind of fake fabrics, I like to call them, or man-made synthetic fabrics, contain BPA. BPA is a harmful chemical that is added to lots of different things, mostly plastic. Health Canada banned BPA years ago in baby bottles, but it's still present in a lot of our clothes. So we're shedding those clothes, we're wearing those clothes, so we need to make better choices.
How do we know it's fast fashion?
Very quickly, so easy. 1, when you go to a website, a lot of these direct-to-consumer websites now are putting out 5,000 to 10,000 styles daily, every single day. That's one flag. So when you see massive turnover, that's a flag that it's most likely fast fashion. The other thing is the cost of the items. A lot of those fast fashion websites that I'm referring to, the average item is $7.90. A t-shirt, a pair of jeans, a jacket, a pair of shoes should not cost that. In fact, anything under $20, you know that it is fast fashion. So those are a couple things to keep in mind.
And you know someone's paying the price somewhere
100%.
For that $7
100%.
dress.
Read the label. Is it made in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh? Most of these countries are forced labor when it comes to fast fashion. There's not a lot of rules and regulations in place. And most of the times it's women and kids. And it's not okay.
So it's not okay at
Just
all.
not okay.
It's not okay at all. We just
Yeah.
have to go through the thought process of, oh my gosh, what is this connected to?
Exactly.
And we have to get ourselves into that way of thinking. What about a mixed label?
Yes.
Let's talk to us about a mixed label, because most of the clothing labels are a bit mixed.
They are. So
Yeah.
if you see a mixed label that has lots of synthetics, so 10% like here, viscose, polyamide, polyester, lyrics, I would
Yeah.
stay away from it. If it's all synthetic, try to avoid it.
Yeah.
When you buy a really cute shirt, you can tell by the fabric that you're going to wash this once and you're not going to be
Yes.
able to wear it again. It gets all
Right.
warped and funky, and then
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to wear this 3 or 4 times, and then it's done. And that's what's sending a lot of our stuff to landfill. So I always say try to look for at least 100% cotton, 100% wool
Yeah.
on the label. Like you see here, this is an organic cotton label.
Yeah.
Organic fabrics are going to be harder to find mainstream. You're going to have to search out smaller brands for that. The other thing is that if you can't find that, is to look for a label where it's a higher content of natural fabric and a lower content of synthetic.
Right.
So in this case, it might be 95% cotton and
Yeah.
5% elastane. But really, Trace, the biggest thing is we have to slow down. We can't continue trashing the planet and harming people simply for the clothes that we wear. At some point, we're going to have an issue, and we're certainly getting to that very, very quickly.
Oh, I feel like we're there.
We're there.
We're
Yeah.
there. So sometimes we think we're doing good. We buy the vegan leather skirt and the
love this
vegan
question.
leather coat. Is this a good thing to do?
Well, vegan leather gives you the connotation that it's plant-based,
Yeah.
right? Because we're used to hearing vegan and we're used to hearing thinking about food.
Yeah.
It's pleather, it's plastic.
It's
There's
plastic.
absolutely not natural at all. Let's just call it
Yes.
what it is. If it's vegan leather from an animal standpoint, it's better because we're not harming animals, which is
Right.
another whole story, right?
Yes.
For fashion. But yeah, we don't want to harm anything or anyone. So it's better to buy vintage leather or invest in pieces from ethical companies where there's traceability
Yes.
within the supply chain when it comes to, let's say, an animal.
Good stuff, Candice. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Trace.